Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is the F and G show.
Over
a glass of wine. Well, this is what we call our news segment, correct? And a pretty sad story. All of you know Dante Wright, where a policewoman said she was trying to tase him, but she pulled out the gun and shot him. And she thought she was pulling out her taser. Now, she's trying to get away with murder. But we're going to look at the video and look at the testimony, some testimony, and then we're going to have some comments afterwards.
The trial of former Minnesota police officer Kim Potter and the shooting death of Dante Wright, Wright's girlfriend, who was in the car with him when he was shot, breaking down on the stand. Stephanie Ramos has the latest. Good morning, Stephanie.
Cecilia, good morning. We heard from that young woman who was in the car with Dante Wright when he was shot, and she took the stand and emotionally described those chaotic moments, saying she was the only one trying to help him. This morning, the third day of testimony in the high-stakes trial of former police officer Kim Potter, as she faces manslaughter charges for shooting and killing 20-year-old Dante Wright outside Minneapolis.
I grabbed the wrong gun! I shot him! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Prosecutors playing this police video of the chaotic aftermath of the fatal traffic stop. Wright's car crashing head-on into another vehicle.
So I got one male not breathing, one female with facial lacerations. Get out of the car so we can help him!
This new body camera video showing Elena Albert Payton, who was in the car with Wright, injured and sobbing.
We lost him in the car.
The young woman had just recently started dating Wright. She took the stand Thursday in another emotional day of testimony, describing those harrowing moments after Wright had been shot.
I just remember hearing just the boom, the bang of the gun.
Albert Payton describing how she tried to save his life.
And I grabbed whatever was in the car and put it on his chest. We've seen in movies and TV shows. I didn't know what to do.
Potter, a 26-year veteran of the Brooklyn Center Police Force, says she mistook her handgun for a taser when she shot Wright after an attempted arrest for a misdemeanor warrant that led to a struggle back in April. You can see her here collapsing to the ground moments after the shooting. And in the courtroom, the judge denied a request from the defense for a mistrial. Testimony continues today. TJ?
Stephanie, thank you so much.
Well, hey there.
So, what's your assessment?
Well, I'll say this. Well, we always want to end on something positive, so I'll let you go first.
Okay. Well, she had said it out of her own mouth, I'm going to go to prison. So, I don't know how, it is totally illogical to me that if you've been 26 years on the force and you can't tell a difference between a gun and a taser, I don't think you're going to get much. You can't go, there's no defense for that.
Well, I would say in her defense, she's been on the force 20 plus years. And during all those years, she's only carried a gun. So to add to her utility belt, the taser, you're used to doing what you normally would do. So even though, I don't know if they switch sides or they're the same side, but I can see in her defense, hey man, taser, taser, taser. And then in the midst of it all, your adrenaline is going, you hype, you're like, what's going on? You pull it out. The only thing I do, it's kind of how, I've never been in a situation, but the only thing I can say is she had to have felt the difference. Like, if it feels natural, just say the taser, because she's been doing it for 20 plus years.
A taser does feel different
That's
than a
what
gun.
she should have picked up.
A taser definitely has a different feeling.
But I believe she really feel bad for what she did. Just a moment, a lapse of judgment, and what she was pulling out to shoot. So I feel for her, but life has been lost.
Yes, and the least, well, because of the circumstances, it can't be first-degree murder. It could be manslaughter. I think according to the law in Minnesota, it may be manslaughter. So she did commit manslaughter. So based on the law, first-degree murder will be with intent. But the jury would have to decide whether she intended. And I'm sure they're showing this video in court where she collapsed on the ground crying, saying, "I'm going to prison." Well, you've just admitted what you did was wrong, so there was some guilt there by saying, "Oh my God, what have I done? I'm going to prison." Well, there's a difference between a gun and a taser, and I know I have a gun myself, and I've felt a taser. They're not the same, ladies and gentlemen. They're just not.
Yeah, I feel sorry for both sides of the situation, both families, hers and his, and the young lady on the stand.
His girlfriend.
Yes, but my thing is, all emotions aside, you gotta let the scales of justice weigh it out. You got anything else, Frank?
Well, it only says one thing. Policemen do not get enough training. They do not know how to de-escalate at times. And there are other methods of detaining people without lethal force. They have all kinds of equipment, tools out there that can be used to detain. They even have things where if somebody has a knife and they're trying to kill somebody or kill themselves, they have these guns that shoot nets. And the net will wrap you up. But you don't have to shoot them and kill them.
Batman.
Yeah, they do have them. They have these
in
tools.
Gotham City.
They do have these tools. You can make all these tools and you can use them in law enforcement without lethal force. So I think police departments need to institute a lot more different methods of detaining and making sure that you don't have to shoot people dead just because of something that they did, and then you losing your temper and shooting people. So,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was it here from the F&G show on this here subject. We could go on and on because there's a lot to talk about, but we're going to end it on this note.
Yes, we are.
So, again, like I said, this is the F&G show. Over
a glass of wine.